Hi students, I hope you're all doing well and that you're getting settled at TOGI. And as you get settled, and I know you're inundated with lots of information all the time, but I thought I'd present you with this very short slideshow and help you to look at some practical aspects of the various courses that you will be doing. You may have heard all of this before, but I thought I would just present it in a concise workshop just so that you can use it for quick reference in future. And feel free to share it with students that perhaps don't have it. I just wanted to make a quick mention of the module guide. The module guide is not a document for you to read at the beginning of the cluster and then discard and forget about. You need to read it carefully and use it as a guide. It will outlay for you what the weights of your assessments are, what the various aspects of the course will be, the different components, the different units. It will also give you references to various documents that you can look at in looking at the research and helping you with your assessments. Remember that you can look at the assessments and actually plan on a calendar. Take your various module guides for the various modules and courses. Look at the assessment dates and actually plot it on one calendar so it can help plan your time properly. You can have a glance at your calendar and see, okay, I have 2 assessments due in the same week. I need to plan very well to be able to give them both the necessary time that they need, and of course the effort that they need as well. The weighting is very important. You may have 2 assessments that are both out of 10, but one may count for 5% and one may count for 2%. So pay attention to the weighting. It gets very confusing at the end if you look at your marks and you think, oh, I've done very well, but then the weighting for the ones that you did very well is much lower than the ones that you struggled with a bit. So just make sure that you understand the weighting, and if not, please feel free to chat to me and I can explain it to you. The objectives and purpose of the course are also quite important. It tells you what you should achieve after the course. And if you feel like you haven't achieved it, we need to work together to make sure that you have achieved all the objectives and the purpose of the course on completion of this module. It will also help guide you through the journey of this course, and it's just a way for you to keep track of what's happening next. Okay, so this is a very important point. When you do submit any of your work or you submit assignments, please make sure that they are saved in PDF. They will not be marked if they are submitted in Word. I will either send it back to you or let you know that I'm not marking your work. This is the same for all lecturers. And the reason for this is we use PDFs because, firstly, no one can change your work. When it's in a PDF format, we aren't able to edit anything. And so it just keeps you safe and it keeps the lecturer safe as well. And then beyond that, the Moodle platform will only really allow us to mark and make comments on a PDF document. So this will allow us to write down on your document without changing anything, but write on the document areas where you feel you did well, where you can make some changes and also give you general comments. So I'm going to show you now how to save as PDF. I don't expect that all of you do not know, all of you do know, but I just thought for those of you that need a refresher or those of you who have not done it before, this will help you to get an idea of exactly how to go about saving a PDF. Okay, so I'm using this module just as an example, or this module guide as an example. So as you can see here, we have our document and now how to save to a PDF. So we'll go to File, and you must just bear with me, the computer is quite slow. You'll go to File, you'll then go down to Save As. So make sure it's not Save and that it's Save As. And of course, it will not be responding. Okay, so obviously this is not going to happen to you. There are a couple of issues with this laptop. But in any case, so we're going to try and wait for a minute. We'll go to Save As, and hopefully it will open. There we go. Looks like we have a little bit of something happening here. Okay, so you'll have the name of your document up here. And over here, it will show you in which format, if I can use that word, it will be saved in. So we'll save it not as a Word document. You could save one copy as a Word document. This will be the original copy. You'll use the arrow down here or on the side and you'll click PDF. Right? And of course you need to choose where your PDF is going to go. So mine is going to go to the desktop in a TOGI file of Classroom Management 2019. You of course can choose wherever you want it to go. And all you do is save. And that's how you save your PDF. And then when you want to attach it to the Moodle platform, you'll obviously just search for where it is and you'll take it from there. So please make sure you save as PDF. If you are still unsure, please feel free to come and chat with me and I can help you with it. Okay, so now we get to a topic that many of us don't like, and that's referencing. So referencing may be something that you have seen before or worked with before, or it may be something that you are presented with for the very first time. So referencing is extremely important. It needs to be followed in the exact format that it's presented. I'm going to show you a bit of an example after this, but I just want to talk about the importance of referencing first. If you do not reference the work, but you've got it from somewhere else, even if you've just read the work somewhere else, put it in your own words, you have to put the reference at the end in your reference list. If you do not, it will constitute plagiarism, and in many institutions, plagiarism will mean that you will be asked to leave or be expelled. And also, there could be criminal charges that are brought against you for plagiarism by the authors or by the institution that has written or published the document that you plagiarized from. Sometimes we don't do it purposefully, but it is something that happens and we need to be very careful of it. And so, why do we reference? I think it's important for us to always look at the why. Like I said, we want to avoid plagiarism. We also want to give credit to the author, so they've written and taken a lot of time to write the work up. So we need to respect that and reference their work. It also helps others to find the original source of information. So, for example, if I'm reading your assessment and I find this is an interesting piece of research, but I want to read a bit more about it. If you have your reference in your reference list, I'm able to go to it and see, okay, this is where they found it. Let me go and Google that quickly and find the same information, and I can read the whole document. Referencing also helps you to show the knowledge that you have presented into the work and the information that you've brought in addition to the documents that you've referenced. And of course, it lends credibility to your work, which doesn't just look like it's information you got out of the air, but you've actually researched it and found the information on the internet or in a textbook or in a journal or whatever the case is. Okay, so I'm going to show you a very quick, I'm going to take a quick look at the Harvard Referencing Guide. If you've seen this before, apologies for showing it to you again, but this is just for us to make sure that we're on track with our referencing. Just a quick reminder, in order to find the referencing information or the Harvard referencing information on the Moodle platform, go onto your dashboard and you'll go onto your right, on the right hand side here, and you'll go to the Harvard referencing information. This document is the one I'm going to show you now, and basically it outlines the format of the Harvard referencing. Also, of course, the academic rules are here, the orientation booklet, etc. And I'm sure you've seen all of those already. Okay, so this is the referencing document. Various institutions use different type of referencing methods. Some use the Harvard, some use APA. It depends on the institution's decision and their reason for using it. So this quick guide is going to talk about how we reference books, journals, magazines, etc. Please make sure that you read this very carefully. It's very important. Okay, so as we go down, the first thing they're going to do is we're going to be looking at referencing from books. So how do we reference from a book with one author? So citation inside sentence. So if you write a sentence but you want to reference the theorist or you want to reference an author, you will say according to and then the author's surname, and you'll put a bracket and you'll say the year that the book was published, and the year you'll find in the first, second, or third page of the book, usually where the publishing information is, you'll find the date that it was published. That is the date over here. And then the dots, which is what is it, colon, is it? And then this will be the page number. And then you'll write down exactly what you want to add from the book. When you want to do a citation at the end of the sentence, you can first write down the sentence and then open brackets, put the author's name, comma, year of publication, and page number, close brackets, full stop. So this is two different ways of doing the either at the end of the sentence, at the end of the sentence or inside the sentence, depending on what works best. Then the bibliographic reference. So this is either called this or a reference list, which is found right at the end of your document. It's the list of all your references in alphabetical order. This is how you will reference the book. You'll put the author's surname, comma, their initial, full stop. And if it's two initials, you'll obviously put both initials like this here. You'll put the dot. Be careful with your dots. You must add them. So it's the surname, comma, initial, dot, and. That's how if there's two authors or more. The year of publication, full stop, perfect. The title of the book or document, the book, yes, in italics, full stop. London is the place it's been published, colon, Random House Books is the publishing house. Okay, and then referencing from a book but that has two authors, it's the same thing except you'll put both surnames. That's at the inside of a sentence, the end of a sentence, and of course the bibliographic reference or the reference list at the end. Okay, so let's see what else there is. Okay, let me just take this down. Okay, this is the one with 3 authors, and you can see it changes every time, but you can obviously look at that because you know how it works. If you're referencing from one book, but you are referencing from various pages, this is what you do. You say, according to Maxwell was the author, you put the year of publication, and then you put the page numbers. Okay, and so that is easy to follow, I think. So now you actually know what you're looking at. And so the rest is from more than 3 authors and so on and so forth. And remember, when you use the referencing inside, or sorry, if you use the referencing from a book that has more than 3 authors, you'll need to do this. You'll say, according to Flynn et al. So Flynn will be the first author, comma, et al means and everybody else and all the other authors. So if you, I'm going to show this to you, I'm going to go up a little bit. I wish this computer wasn't so slow. Okay, so you say, the first time you cite the book, you'll say, according to Flynn, and you write everyone's surnames, the year, and then the page. And then you put down your, the quotation or the information you want from the book. But any citations thereafter, or anytime you reference this book after, you will say, according to Flynn, comma, et al. So et al means all of these other authors. So it just helps you not to have to type it over and over and over. And it also gets quite annoying for the person reading it to see the same thing typed over and over and over. So that is an important piece of information. Okay, so I don't want to go through everything because I feel like it's going to take a lot of time and we only have a certain amount of time on this video. So you can go through this at your own leisure. I just want to show you, if you're using a journal magazine, it will be a little bit different. This part is generally the same, but in the referencing part, you'll have the surname, comma, initial, full stop, and so on and so forth. And then you'll have the year, you'll have the name of the book, and obviously this is also part of the name. It's like, you know, a continuation of the name of the book. Full stop, 24/5/18 to 24 October time. So what does this mean? This means the publication. So oftentimes they'll say this is the 24th publication, and this is the 5th part of this 24th publication, colon, 18 to 24 is the page number, the year, the month, and the year. So this is how you'll do a journal. It depends on the information presented to you on the journal, but feel free to ask me about this again, and I'll be happy to help you and take you through it. Okay, and then as you go through this, you'll see different things. Referencing from magazine, referencing from research papers, from government gazettes, which is going to be like the CAPS document or the Child Care Act and so on and so forth. Internet referencing is something that you're probably going to use a lot. And so this is the way you do it. You'll put the surname, the author's initial, the year, the title of the article. You'll write online, available from, and then you'll copy this over here. Let me show you. You'll copy this part over here. Okay, that's the part you'll copy. And then you'll say accessed, or you open a block bracket, accessed, and you put the date that you actually accessed the information, the date that you looked and found the information. So this is the things that I think are important in terms of referencing. Please read this document carefully. It's really, really helpful and important because you will be penalized for incorrect referencing. So be very, very, very careful. And if you like, I can give you a contact session or a video on how to do referencing. Okay, I'm going to have to rush. I don't have much time left. Rubrics are very important. Please read your rubrics carefully as they'll guide you in your assessment, and make sure you understand what the question of the rubric is. For 1 mark, this is the rubric expectation, and then for 4, that is the rubric expectation. So go through that very carefully. And lastly, please make sure that you reflect in every document or assessment I give you. Reflections are important because they help you to grow. And in my assessments, I'll always ask you to reflect. And reflection does not mean talking about what you saw in the research, but it's about what you think, you feel, and what you've experienced. So please be open and honest about your experiences because it's important for learning. And the last thing I want to say is thank you and good luck. I look forward to working with you, and please feel free to ask me as many questions as you like.